Now at 6, Missouri business groups file a challenge to the Show Me State's intention to raise the minimum wage. Plus, authorities respond to an early morning shooting in Webb City that left one woman in critical condition. And school administrators in Pittsburgh implement new cell phone restrictions for students.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Missouri business groups have now filed a legal challenge to Missouri's new minimum wage law. This is KOAM News at 6. I'm Dow Quick. Starting January 1st, the minimum wage in Missouri is set to increase to $13.75 an hour and in 2 years rise to $15. That's because voters approved Proposition A last month. KOAM Samantha Walker's in the studio to explain the challenge.
Voters passed Prop A with more than 57% in support of it. The proposition raises minimum wage to $15 by 2026, with further increases depending on inflation. In addition to that, Missouri businesses will be required to provide 1 hour of paid sick time for every 30 hours worked. That provision will go into effect on May 1st of next year. Groups like Business for a Fair Minimum Wage support the proposition, saying, quote, "Business owners across the state say the minimum wage increase will boost consumer spending and strengthen Missouri's workforce, businesses, and economy." But others, including the Missouri Chamber of Commerce, the Missouri Grocers Association, and the Missouri Restaurant Association, are speaking out against Prop A for financial and legal reasons. In a joint statement, they state the measure will, quote, "increase prices for consumers and impose significant financial burdens on businesses of all types and sizes." These groups have submitted a legal challenge to the Missouri Supreme Court, hoping to get the proposition invalidated. What's invalid? The challenge claims the proposition has misleading language and language that creates prejudice for the amendment. Because of those reasons, they believe the elections of this proposition is invalid. Issue number 1. The Missouri Constitution requires ballot initiatives to contain a single subject. The petition claims Prop A contains 2 unrelated subjects, minimum wage and earned sick leave. Supporters of Prop A argue the minimum wage and sick leave are related enough, tying back to the single subject of worker welfare. The petition has been sent to the Missouri Supreme Court, but because Prop A is a law change, lawmakers could overturn the measure. In the studio, Samantha Walker, KOAM News.
Samantha, thanks. Chief Meteorologist Doug Heddy joins us now with a first look at the weather.
Well, it turned out to be a chilly one for us today. Also breezy out there, but the winds are starting to calm down just a little bit. But temperatures already sitting into the mid-30s. It's going to be a chilly evening, a chilly night for us tonight. Thankfully, southerly winds are really going to start to increase. You can already see they're coming out of the south. This will cap off our overnight low near freezing as our southerly winds start to pick up as we go through the next several hours. Through the evening hours, just kind of hang out right around freezing, pretty much clear skies. We don't have a whole bunch going on right now. We have one storm system heading away from us, so we're going to stick with the clear skies for us tonight. But with a warm front, which is going to be shifting in late tonight into tomorrow morning. Look at this. Huge warm up, upper 50s to near 60 degrees. We're going to talk about that, and plus, will that give us rain? All coming up here in a bit.
See you soon. Authorities are investigating an early morning shooting in Webb City. They say around 5:30 this morning, 2 people with gunshot wounds drove themselves to the Airport Drive neighborhood market. One male victim was grazed by gunfire. A female victim suffered a life-threatening gunshot wound. She's listed in critical condition. The 2 were wounded at a home on the 1300 block of West Austin. Authorities came to the home at around 5:45 and remained there for nearly 3 hours before 4 people came out. All 4 were detained. Both victims have been transported to an area hospital. Some big news for an area industry. Schreiber Foods in Carthage, Missouri announces plans for a major expansion. That expansion includes construction of a new 168,000 square foot production facility featuring what they call state-of-the-art technology. The $211 million investment is expected to create eventually 150 new jobs. The project is scheduled to begin next month with completion scheduled for 2027. Schreiber Foods has been part of the Carthage community since 1950 and throughout its system employs about 1,300 people. A Carthage philanthropic group announces they're gearing up for their fall grant season. Carthage 365, a giving circle created by the Carthage Community Foundation, will begin taking applications for its fall grant round on Thursday, January 2nd. Applicants can come from civic, education, or faith-based groups serving the Carthage area. All applications must be completed and submitted online by January 17th. Grant announcements will be made mid-February. High school students in Pittsburgh will have more cell phone restrictions starting next semester. KOAM's Lonnie Walton spoke to the high school principal about the changes and the reasons behind them.
Cell phones are a distraction to the learning environment.
Chris Krotz is the assistant principal at Pittsburgh High School. He says there's no reason a student should ever be on their cell phones during class. His main source of information comes from those with first-hand experience, the teachers.
Some of our teachers that have had more of a strict cell phone policy have noticed major differences in our engagement pieces in the classroom.
The already existing rule is that cell phones are not to be seen or used during class time. That includes in the hallways or in bathrooms. Phones can be on, but have to be in silent mode. But now it has to be in airplane mode. And if students are going to use headphones, they have to have a cord and can't be plugged into a phone. And one argument heard from parents to allow phones in the school is safety. What if there's a dangerous situation like an active shooter?
I actually feel like we have very good, strong policies there that we train and do year round, and none of those policies have anything or any need for students to have their cell phone.
And as far as video evidence of a situation,
I actually have a very good camera system throughout our school that we use quite regularly.
in case of an emergency, parents are required to contact the school to deliver a message. The student can then get permission to call the parent back. And I asked about parents' opposition to the rule, but he says there really isn't any.
Not really. Not really opposition, more of just as we've kind of developed this plan, there's been good conversations that have helped to kind of mold it.
Krotz says it's all there to help make our students better succeed.
It helps to free our kids from constant social media and notifications and all that.
Reporting in Pittsburgh, I'm Lonnie Walton, KOAM News.
Krotz says the policy is only bell to bell. Students are allowed to use their phones during breaks and on school buses as long as they follow all the school policies. As temperatures drop, furnace use goes up. We have advice from an expert on getting your heating system ready for the colder months. That's ahead. But up first, a sharpshooter competition brings the best in the world to Arkansas for their shot to glory. Top sniper teams from all across the country are facing off in marksmanship competitions that are underway at Fort Chaffee in Arkansas. Service members from all 50 states and sniper teams from several countries are competing. Brett Rain spoke with some of the people taking their shot at greatness.
The top 1% of shooters in the world are here. This is the premier sniper competition pretty much in the world.
Lane 2! Fifth placard down to the right! On it!
These snipers and their spotters are the best of the best. Now they're competing to see who comes out on top. It's all happening at Fort Chaffee, where National Guard members and active military members are taking to the range. Teams from Italy, Germany, and the Netherlands are also here.
This competition is not just about shooting. It's about sharing of ideas, networking, and applying the tactics that will shape the battlefield for futures to come.
Foxtrot is to the right of the 4-5.
The teams are put through a variety of challenges. This round, snipers are shooting moving targets more than 500 meters away, which is more than 5.5 football fields. And spotters are using machine guns to help.
It makes the soldier adapt to the battlefield and how combat is constantly evolving. This as a little twist makes them think outside the box, and it's not just precision shooting. They have to adapt to other threats and competition as well.
And when it comes to being the best, First Sergeant Justin Fisher with the National Marksmanship Training Center says,
These guys have spent countless hours on ranges in the cold and the rain and the snow and the sleet to get better at what they do. That's what separates an average shooter from the best.
The Competition wraps up tomorrow. The winners will advance and compete in the International Sniper competition. That's going to be in Georgia in a few months. A little bit later, a modern take on a Dickens classic comes to McDonald County.
Plus, our temperatures are going to warm up quite a bit for you Thursday. Details coming up. Well, it definitely turned out to be a chilly day for us today. Temperatures really struggled to warm up. In fact, we only went into the lower 40s for highs. We had quite a bit of sunshine though, but also a little bit on the windy side. Nice shot of our Cornell Arts and Entertainment Complex tower cam. Of course, we are looking downtown Joplin off toward the north and to the east. The winds have died down a bit, not for long. They're going to kick back up as we get into late tonight and tomorrow. Look at the winds. They've switched out of the south. Then you have a westerly wind in our northern counties. That is a warm front that is shifting through, so our winds will start to pick up through the night. 35 southerly winds at about 5 to 10 through the rest of the evening. We kind of hang out near that freezing point all night long. With those southerly winds increasing, our temperatures aren't going to drop back just as much, but these will start to get going, especially after midnight tonight into tomorrow morning. We'll have winds gusting 20, 25, maybe upwards of about 30 miles per hour. Look at the wind shift line. That's our front. Kind of hangs out through tomorrow night and then lifts north on Friday. So even Friday, we stay fairly breezy across the region. Clear skies, nothing going on here. Have a few clouds skirting just to our north. One big storm system moving up the eastern seaboard. And if we look out toward the west, here's our next little wave, which will give us some rain by the time we get into Friday, heading into Saturday. So let's go ahead and look at it. Tonight, temperatures hang out 30 to about 32. We'll have sunshine during the morning hours. Here's the noon hour. We stop it at about 55 degrees. And then by the afternoon, 57, 58, 59 degrees. So a pretty good day. Some mid and upper level clouds starting to increase late. As we go through Thursday night into Friday, mostly cloudy skies by Friday morning. And then through the day, a spotty shower or two could pop up. So here's 3 p.m. on Friday. A little bit of drizzle, random spotty shower, but showers will increase as we get into Friday evening. You can see a little bit more numerous. Here's 11 p.m. Then after midnight, scattered showers and thunderstorms will get going. Heaviest is going to be Missouri and also Arkansas, but still Kansas and Oklahoma will get a band or two as we go into Saturday morning. By midday Saturday, most of the rain is out of here, so we'll have some showers to start the day, but then Saturday afternoon looks pretty good. Sunday nice, clouds increase again. It's going to be near 60, and then Sunday night into Monday, here's our next wave, but again, heaviest is going to be on the Missouri and the Arkansas side, but we are going to get two systems that will affect us over about the next 5 days. Rainfall not extremely heavy, but a lot of areas with these next two systems will pick up a quarter to a half an inch, maybe a little bit more than that. 54 by noon, let's go 57 during the afternoon. 52 on Friday, near 60 Saturday, into the 60s Sunday and Monday with those rain chances. And then after Monday, we'll start to cool down just a bit. Also some rain chances next Wednesday.
But a stretch of pretty nice temps in the coming few days anyway.
Yeah, they look really good.
Thanks, Doug. As winter does eventually kick into gear, it might be a good time to get the heating system in your house checked. Local technicians recommend getting your systems looked at before the temperatures dip too cold. Also a good idea to go ahead and replace your system's filter. Standard one-time maintenance call can cost in the realm of $100 to $200, but could save you thousands in repair costs if an issue is detected ahead of time.
Typically there'd be one price increase at the beginning of a year, 4 to 6%, then we're done for the year. And over the last 3.5 years, you could pretty well count on every quarter a price increase. Things have become so expensive that the average person is in a perfectly reasonable position to wonder, how am I going to pay for this?
KOAM's Anthony Saviello is going to take a look at a day in the life of an HVAC technician tonight at 10. Still ahead, the Kansas Football Coaches Association releases its 2024 All-State teams. And Missouri Southern quarterback Luke Sampson enters the transfer portal. John Dales has those stories and more up next.
Hey, and welcome into sports. We start with some college football news. Missouri Southern quarterback Luke Sampson has entered the transfer portal with 1 year of eligibility remaining. Sampson has been the starter for the Lions for the entirety of the 2023 and 2024 seasons, and for 3 games as well back in 2022. Now, in his time at Southern, Sampson has thrown for over 6,000 passing yards and amassed 56 total touchdowns. As a junior in 2023, Sampson received all MIAA honorable mention, and in his final game of the 2024 season, Sampson set the program record for most touchdowns in one game with 6 against Central Missouri. Shifting gears to Kansas high school football, the Kansas Football Coaches Association releases its all-state teams early this week. Here's a look at the local players to receive all-state honors. We begin in Class 1A. Jayhawk Lynn returner Ryan Broyles and tight end Braden Nation both get named to the all-state team, as does Colgan offensive lineman Michael Westhoff. In Class 2A, a couple more local all-state honorees. Blake Hellis from Humboldt and his teammate Kyler Isbell. 2 of them helped lead the Cubs to an undefeated regular season and a trip to the Class 2 sectionals. And Caney Valley's Ben Matthews also receives state honors. In Class 3A, just one local player named to this all-state team. That's Frontenac running back Gavin Wattoon. He helped lead the Raiders to an undefeated regular season and rushed for over 1,300 yards while missing 2 games with an injury. And rounding things out in Class 4A, 2 players from Coffeyville receive all-state honors. That's running back Aaron Tunstall and offensive lineman Keaton Jones. Fort Scott offensive lineman Luke Harris is featured as well. 3 Chanute Blue Comets are on the team. All on the defensive side of the ball, defensive lineman Cade Small and defensive backs Quentin Harding and Elliott Stevenson. That's all for sports. We're back after this.
Here's a look at what's coming up on KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14 tonight. We're going to have some tips to keep you and your family healthy during the holiday season. Plus, KOAM's Anthony Saviello shares more about that day he spent with a technician who's working hard to make sure people are ready to face the cold weather, make sure their furnaces are set. And we're going to take you to a trivia competition surrounding the movie National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. Those stories, a lot more. It's coming up tonight. KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14. A twist on a Dickens classic is coming to McDonald County, Missouri. The McDonald County Drama Department and Dabbs Greer Theater Society present a fresh take on A Christmas Carol. Tickets for the full performances are scheduled for December 13th through the 15th. That's Friday through Sunday. They're $10 each or $5 for bundles of 10 or more. We're going to have more on this production for you tonight on KOAM News at 10. Speaking of bundles, do you want to bundle up because it's kind of cold out there?
Yeah, we're going to sit near freezing throughout the overnight hours, but much warmer tomorrow. Check this out, 57 degrees, partly sunny. It is going to be windy, but it's going to be warmer.
That's good. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you right back here for KOAM News at 10. Let's make it a great evening.